Ayushi, and welcome.
Hello,
So,
ma'am.
first of all, congratulations on the multiple interview calls and offer letters that you've been getting. We are so glad to have you here. How
Thank
does
you,
it
ma'am.
feel?
Thank you so much. For me, honestly, it's a miracle. Really, I wasn't hoping something like this will happen. But as soon as I started getting offer letters, interview calls, that was really shocking to me also. But yeah, it was a great feeling.
Great. So, Ayushi, can you just briefly tell us about yourself? What was your academic background, if you have any work ex or anything, and then just tell us what are the call letters that you have got, the interview calls that you've got.
Okay. So I did my bachelor's in of pharmacy from Manipal College of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Mahe. I completed my graduation in 2023, and after that, through campus interview, I got a offer letter. I worked in a startup company. Basically, we were working for healthcare MNCs as a marketing firm. So I do have a work ex of 14 months, and the call letters I have right now is for SIHS Symbiosis for healthcare management.
Great. So, what were the other interview calls that you got shortlisted for?
Okay, so I did also got shortlisted for Narsi Munji. I have just given the interview, and for KJ Somaiya. Again, both were for healthcare management.
So, KG, so my interview is also done, right?
Yeah.
So, can you briefly tell us about each of these experiences? Like, what were the kind of questions they asked? What was the selection process like? How did you feel during that? So, can you just briefly tell us about it? So, let's
Oh,
start with Symbiosis Institute of Health Sciences.
okay. So for Symbiosis, the interview and the GD both were online. And the interview was like you have to wait, and there were two panelists there. The first one started with the personal questions, like introduce yourself, like then the question which was very unique was if any skills you want to inherit from your mom and dad, what
Okay.
they will be. So yeah, and also like family background, highlight your family background. Then they started asking from my background, like academic background, my work experience. So the other panelist, so the very first question was why healthcare MBA, and as also as I worked in a startup company, so from my work experience, she did ask a few related questions from my work experience. Like one was any challenges you faced, like do startup environment is good for freshers. Then also goals, like where do you see yourself after doing healthcare MBA? And one situation was given to me. The situation was yeah, in the campus placement, you have gotten a very good package from corporate, and one is from healthcare startup company. So what you will be choosing and why? So these were the questions for Symbiosis. And then for Narsi Munji, as that was my first face-to-face interview, and my both KJ Somaiya and Narsi Munji interview came on the same day. So morning slot was for Narsi Munji, and afternoon slot was for KJ Somaiya. But
Lucky you didn't clash completely.
yeah, and traveling is easy in Mumbai, so I was lucky there.
Yeah.
Then for Narsi Munji, first was the competency test, and their interview was quite different. It was AI faculty interview. So
Right.
as our background was already uploaded in the AI system, as soon as we enter the cabin, faculty will be sitting on the same desk, and laptop is there, and with the AI, they'll start asking questions like mostly it was related from my work experience only. So AI mostly it's like if you're answering and it can catch any word like from your answer and can frame a question. So that's I feel that's more on us what kind of flow we want, what words we are using, and like I in my one of the answer I just used word strategically, and the
Okay.
very next question he framed was explain the strategy you were using in your like during your job. So
Right.
it's a 12 minutes interview. The timer
Right.
will be keep on.
So
And
basically, you have to be very, very smart with the keywords. so
Yeah,
that the follow-up question is in your favor, and you can, like, if you know that the keywords are going to play an important role, it will certainly help you with the follow-up questions, and then it can go in a predicted way also, right?
yeah.
That's a great insight.
Okay. And also then the faculty will be asking you one or two follow-up questions. That's all. So with me, it was again this very same basic question: why healthcare MBA? Why this specific MBA? Why not general MBA?
So
And
it's
yeah,
just always general MBA versus the MBA in healthcare management. That
yeah.
kind of question. Okay.
And then we come to KG Somaiya. KG Somaiya, there were other few rounds also. Like writing ability test was there, 20 minutes, and then problem solving assessment and PI. So
Can you tell us a little about each of these? Like, what was the topic? What is and the other processes as well?
okay, so as soon as they took us to an auditorium, there they briefly explained what the courses, and the core MBA and the healthcare management were on the same day. So there were like lots of students there. And
Right.
in the auditorium only, they started the VAT round. The topic for us was the power of networking in your career advancement. And
Okay.
the sheets and all were provided there itself. And after that, we were taken to the PI round
Was there
later.
any word limit?
It was 300 to 350 words.
Great. And
Okay.
20 minutes, like you said.
Yeah, 20 minutes was the time.
All right.
And then we were taken to the PIPSA waiting room. As soon as we entered the room, there were two panelists sitting there. Again, this was face to face, and the questions were like they KG Sumaya also asked us while filling the form, the while uploading the documents,
Yes.
to fill up the candidate profile. So there were like multiple questions: why you want to do this MBA, why you chose KG Sumaya, where you see yourself in next 5 or 10 years, and then your strength and weakness. And we were
Profile
supposed,
based questions, basically.
yeah, so we were also supposed to carry that candidate profile. So as soon as we entered, they were like, while we are going through the candidate profile, or like briefly introduce yourself, and then we start with the introduction, and then why healthcare MBA. Then she also asked me a lot about my pharmacy background here, like
Right. Technical
what
questions, academic questions based on pharmacy.
like not technical questions, but she was the only question was what was your favorite subject during pharmacy.
Yeah.
Then I also highlighted like I was more into practicals. I'm not someone who was more in theory. Then again, from there, she just asked me, okay, do you know how we calculate the shelf life of drugs? Have you done that? So I explained that. And then they shifted to the management side. And here itself, after my interview round, they gave me a problem statement that was the PSA round. And I was given like they also in the problem statement only. It's a printed paper,
Cue card.
and
Yeah.
yeah, cue card. And there were three questions also given to frame your answer based on
Got
those
it.
questions. And 2 minutes will be given, and then you can start. And yeah,
Can you
after
tell
that,
us a little if if you can recall what was exactly asked in the PSA?
okay. So for me, as they were not earlier aware also key of which MBA I've applied. My
Hmm.
first preference was healthcare. And so for the problem statement, my problem statement was there's a e-commerce company and they have changed their exchange policy. So it's now 30 days exchange will be there and no questions asked. So now they are facing financial issue, losses. So come up with the solution so that the company won't be facing any like it should be fair enough for both the customer and the company.
Okay.
Yeah, this was the problem, and I don't remember the three questions they asked
It's all
me.
right. Thank you. Like it's a lot. I can understand it becomes a little difficult to recall these things. So how was your experience with these three interviews? Have you got any confirmation call letters from any of these institutes?
Ma'am, as for Narsi Munji and KG Sumaya, the interview was last Saturday only. So I'm still waiting for the results, and I have gotten the final provisional admission letter from SIHS.
Great, congratulations on that.
Okay,
So
thank you.
how was your experience? Like what were the feelings? How did you feel? Did you feel confident? Did you feel nervous during the interviews? So how was it?
So with me, the tragedy was my slot was of 14th of Feb for SIHS, GD and PI. I got admitted on 11th of Feb.
Yeah, you won then.
And yeah, so I lost all the hopes. I'm like, oh my God, it's gone. I won't be able to give. And then I requested the college also. So they did reschedule it to 15th. We were hoping I might get discharged on 14th, but the doctor again, he was like, no, I can't. You have to be here. So I was really, really nervous. But I did spoke to Yukta ma'am also. She was like, no issues. You can give. You're prepared,
Yeah.
you can give from the hospital, no issues with that. So I was sitting with the drip on, and that's how I gave my SIHS interview and GD.
That's you've got some serious courage, and I have to appreciate that. It really means a lot. It shows the kind of dedication you have towards your future goals and what you want to do next. So I mean that's fantabulous,
Thank you,
amazing.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
So, when it comes to like, during the interview, so you were facing a health crisis when it came at SIHS, but with NM interview or KGS for my interview, when you were taken from one room to the other, when you were made to sit in the waiting room, when there was a new competency test suddenly out of the air, which was quite unique to your year. How were you feeling? Were you feeling like it's okay, it's manageable, or were you feeling like I'm all over the place? Like, how were you feeling?
There were like phases. As soon as I entered for KG Somaiya, I was really, really tired because I was rushing. I just have like 2 hours to be there. And with all my health conditions, also, I have to take insulin shots. So I have to keep it in that mind. Like I have taken a shot. So now I have to eat. So, but slowly, slowly, I would say there is just a thing like how smoothly you can communicate in rounds like PI round specifically.
Yes.
So I wouldn't say I was like very confident. There was a phase with for me in Narsi Munji also like early morning 8:30 slot. As soon as I entered, saw others, I was like, they just have 60 and 30 seats, and why they have called so many students. So this was a feeling, but then again, I think I was getting quite adapt to the surroundings. So that was something I was relaxed about, and yeah.
So, can you tell me like your top three strategies that helped you to prepare for your interview round? Especially, one was when you were facing a health crisis. The two were on the same day. You were rushing from here to there. So there was a lot on your plate. So tell me three strategies that helped you with the same.
Okay. So the first was for PI specifically is how smoothly you can communicate. Talk to strangers. With me, this helped me a lot.
Could you
So when
just give me
I
a second,
was
please? So, Ayushi, while you were hustling from one interview to the other, so can you tell me like your top three strategies that helped you keep your calm, appear, show up? You could have given up. So, what helped you in that moment?
Okay. So very first was communication with for me. Like talk to strangers, no matter what. You should know how you're talking. And then when you enter the PI cabin, you won't feel he's a or they are the panelist. It will be just like a conversation. So you won't be nervous. And then for me, second, really, ma'am, your rounds, your sessions helped me a lot. My notes, as there were many sessions I wasn't able to attend, but the starting PI round sessions, I have my notes on. So every time, no matter how many interviews I have appeared for, but every time I just used to like go through them, like what are the main points, be it like how you're dressing. So this was the second, and the third was dressing part. That was because that was something I actually saw many students, many aspirants just walking in like that and like but for me any which ways for me dressing up was confident. I think if I wasn't able to show properly, I won't be that confident and won't be able to give answers in that way. I will be concerned about, oh my god, my dress is like that, my dress is like that. But yeah, that helped.
Great. So, can you tell us, like, with regards to your experience with selection mastery training and mock interviews that were conducted for you, especially one to one, with a set of coaches, with me, with expert, all of us, and just tell us about your experience with regards to same. And while you speak about it, just probably highlight that whether you should wait till your results are out for cat snap all of these and then start preparing for the interview rounds, or a good amount of time is important for the same.
Okay. Uh, um, the selection mastery training is very, very important because as I come from a science background, pharmacy background, we don't have like this was the first time I was appearing for an interview. So I have no clue. This helped me a lot. Again, I would say one shouldn't wait until and unless the results are out. I think this do take a lot of time to prepare for. It take more time than the aptitude test we have to prepare, because it's like when the results are out, you don't know what your mental state will be like, and will you be able to focus on the PI rounds and other rounds. For that preparation, will you be having that much strength? And any which ways, as sir also say, learning won't go anywhere. It's better if you start early.
Right. Great, Ayushi. Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations for all that you've achieved and wishing you the best for all that is yet to come. Hoping
Thank you.
that there's a flood of call letters very soon and you have, like, you have to choose from the best of the best. So, wishing
Thank
you the very best. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye bye. Take care.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.